So as always, timestamps exist in case you just want to skip forward, but yeah, there's not really much else to show aside from the odd races that I had in the last 2 days, and boy was it a downhill trend. So just showing off the runner history really quickly. We'll go left to right here, and yeah, it's not great. Again, part of it is a lot of my choices during training. I now that I remember it, a lot of it was, and Mayano did get a few wins here, but only a few. A lot of it was that I was going for Unity training, and they just didn't want to Unity train the places I wanted to, which is kind of important for me to show off the support cards I'm working with. Normally, I would replace Naruto Taishin here with Sweet Tosho, but I was figuring I was trying to fit Lone Wolf onto Gold Chip, which didn't happen because if you've noticed, my Mayano is the one that has Lone Wolf, and my Gold Chip is just medium A without any other speed skills. So the other part of it is, yeah, green skills are important, but at the same time, also looking for excels. So shrug. Again, not really much to say while we're waiting for the races here, because I know we're going to try to keep this video short. One entry on round 2, and I will get to Finals A 90% of the time. The problem is winning the finals. Although I'll take second place too, but yeah. And again, as always, anything can happen. I've seen weird races where I know I'm outmatched by the other two trainers in the lobby, but you know, things happen and I win. And other times bad things happen and you lose. And then I've also seen other players, specifically runaway Suzukas, that just happen to do just hit everything, and you know, you can be stat diffed all you want, have an extra 200, 300 wit, have an extra 200, 300 power, and your skills don't proc, and you lose the stamina. Specifically, that's what I saw. And then, or the other, in this case, Suzuka does unrestrained into angling and scheming, and it's like bye-bye at the most opportune moment. So, which could happen in this lobby. Again, even with 800, definitely with 800 power, 800 wit is the kind of ballpark of which they hit their acceleration and they get their stamina looks fine, it's over. That being said, one last thing to note before we get into this race is that I haven't seen as many debuffers as I thought there were going to be. It's around like the 20-30%. But as the race starts, yeah, not as many debuffers, definitely a lot of front runners, which that was expected. I didn't expect not to see as many debuffers, but I think it's because a lot of people this time just so happened that, well, they assume that, well, one, you can make 3 aces, which I wouldn't say it's negligible. I think 3 aces does do better than 2 aces, 1 debuffer, but at the same time, on top of that, everyone making 3 aces or 2 aces, or basically making aces in general, has their stamina on lock, so throwing a debuffer in, while it is effective, especially if you plan to throw 2 debuffers in and another trainer does another debuffer, or the other 2 run 1 debuffer, then you get a lot of stamina decrease. But from what I've seen, and from what mainly what I've seen, you end up with a lot of aces that just survive anyway. Even if they end up losing at the last, losing all their stamina at the last 50, 100 meters, it pretty much doesn't make a difference, because usually whoever's up in front is not going to slow down enough. Now, there are a lot of nose head wins anyway, but what I mean by that is that the debuffs weren't gonna hit anyway, and if they don't hit at all, or whether it's because they don't proc, or they hit an Musume, or don't hit an Musume due to certain vision skills, then yeah. Also, this here comes the acceleration. Let's see how far this Suzuka goes, because I am definitely not getting anything here. Mayano and Gold Ship back in 6th and 7th, and of course my one frontrunner, Summer Maru, just falling behind. So if anyone's going to catch up, it's going to be an Oguri Cap, but whether or not she actually procs, here's the Triumphant Pulses, and let's see if she passes Suzuka. That being said, yeah, so running in front like that, I have seen some stamina problems, but most of the time, with proper stamina recoveries proccing, you will see runaway Suzukas just run away. I actually got third. I actually got third there, but I mean, that's not, you need to win, so this first entry of round 2 is already going not great, but you never know, right? It can be just RNG. I've seen, again, because I watch more than a few trainers, just out of curiosity, I've seen really odd lobbies of whether it's just like 600, 700 every stat, or just completely insane lobbies with like 1200, 1100, 1000 in speed, stamina, and power respectively, without any stamina skills, because that will perfectly work, especially if you have 500, 600 guts. Yeah, the lobbies can fluctuate depending on who you run into. And if you've played Uma Musume long enough to go into at least one Champions Meet, you know what that looks like. So we'll take a look at least number 1 and number 2 fave. So Simile Rudolph and an Oguri Cap. And yeah, that's proper, just at a glance. And this is also proper, just at a glance. So I didn't check to see if how many stamina or if there were any stamina perks, but with the stamina and guts, because of the... I mean, it's a normal 2,000 meter race, but 900 to 500, 900 stamina, 500 guts is pretty normal. So let's find out what happens. Nice late start, double late start, by the way. I'm actually keeping an eye on Rush because, funny to note that a lot of my previous day 2 of round 1 had a lot of Rush, like we see Mayano rushing here. So shrug, here's hoping. I was thinking about putting 2 rare gold recovery skills, but that would actually be worse, and I know this because I've tested it out. So really just relying on somehow Summer Maru to either take first place again or Gold Ship to creep up further. But the other part of my usual, like, you'll see this in every one of my champions meetings, but from here and in the past, I'm missing a lot of wits. I am missing a lot of wits, and even though we have seen a few Uma Musume with 400 high 300 wits in my lobbies, or I have seen it at least, then yeah, it's the pacekeeping is not there. Pacekeeping being, I want Gold Chip to be a lot farther forward than she is right now. Now, that could change. At this point, she is creeping up slowly, but she can just get stopped as everyone else moves forward and the run's over. So as this Mihono Buruben takes first place, angling and scheming right there, we get an early start from Gold Chip, but we're already all speeding up anyway, and if she's not going to speed up anymore, the run's over. We can squeeze in between Teo and Simile Rudolph here, but aside from that, I don't know. There's a Nibble Nav, by the way, so maybe, but Medium A is going to hurt me a lot here, so let's find out. She is slowly creeping forward, but if anyone else is going to creep forward, it's going to be Teo or McQueen, but yeah, it's not enough. It's not enough. Close, though. Very close. Yeah, as you can see there, nearly at 2 lengths by the time we finished the race, but a lot of weaving to go through, too. It's a combination of both. Had to weave through Rudolph there, weave past Rudolph, and also speed up without getting to... We don't have medium S, so... again, to note, I think I said I had like 2, 3... I know I didn't see more than 3 medium S's on my Gold Chip Ace runs, and one of them was the late surger that I showed you last video, so it did a lot worse. Now, I had another Gold Chip that actually has, well, not that it matters, 1200 speed, because this one has 1196, but it's as much as doesn't matter, but I swear this one did better, but maybe I'm wrong and I should have used the other Gold Chip. That was not late surger. But the only ones I had prepared that I know did better than the late surger S, medium S Gold Chip were end closer Gold Chips. So, and I mean, all you have is my word when I say that. So we see a wedding Mayano, we see Mage Orion, and then there's this debuffer Nice Nature. Yep. So yeah, off we go. So Maestro, yeah, 1200, and to 1100, but I've seen 1100s beat out other 1200 speed and medium S Umas before, because again, the randomness of the race and what happens when the girls are racing side by side, don't pass, don't proc their stamina perks, don't recover stamina, get debuffed, so happens a lot of stuff. But let's see what happens. I wonder if I've been missing groundwork a lot more than not. I know a lot of the skills proc and show, so I may have missed it at times, but I think also are we the only front runner here? We might be. At this point, I do like seeing Summer Maru go so far forward she doesn't get hit by all-seeing eyes, but getting passed up by a late surger or even pace chasers that do really well, especially Taiki Shadow, is likely going to happen as well. So, I mean, I'm just sitting here shrugging, hoping that things happen. Also hoping that at least Gold Chip, stays in position as well, relative to whoever is setting the pace, but again, I can't stress enough how important... I've heard some trainers really kind of turn their eyes from medium S, medium A. Of course, if you have to field one or the other, or you know a medium A does better than medium S for whatever reason, whether it's because you have more acceleration skills or mid-game skills or last spurt velocity skills, so be it. But in my experience, at least so far that I've seen, it's medium. It's getting asymptotude on distancing. So, actually, all of my except for Mayano, Goldship and Summer Maru are in good positions, but we're gonna get passed up either by Wedding Mayano here, or the Taiki Shuttle, or the Major Orion, who gets on an on your left proc into Pump Iron, which she did get. So here's looking at whoever gets in first. There's the Taiki Shuttle. And here is Goldship trying her best. Summermaru is going to get past here, especially when she gets hit by the debuff there. But otherwise, if Taiki Shuttle keeps the lead, Goldship is not going to be able to pass. If Winning Mayano somehow passes up with the body and mind, sure. But aside from that, no. I think that was Goldship, actually. Yeah. I think that was a nose finish. But let's take a look and just be certain about that. So, hey, it's Group B finals. I need to get to Group A. So, yeah, nose finish. So, it's Lol Ship end closer time. Or it was Lol Ship end closer. Again, Medium S would make that a lot better. But I also need to take this time at some point to at least spend like 15 minutes looking over how the Uma Musume race. But that'll happen at a later date. Major Odober, by the way, on your left, all proper, like not really much else to say there. We'll take a look at this nice nature just for looking at debuffs, but also the Naruto Brian. Also, as a quick little filler in here, as I'm waiting for the race, I did actually want to take Maverick on my gold chip, which is why you saw it on the late surger, because I thought that gold chip was going to be an end closer, and she was not. So that's why you saw that dead skill Maverick on my late surger gold chip. But yes, I mean, to note, if you are running Gold Ship, you're most likely running her late surger, and you're not running any enclosers in this Champions Meet, which is why I wanted to take Maverick with Gold Ship, but that didn't happen, and the only real reliable way to get Maverick for my runs was to purposely miss out on Rico, which is not feasible at all. So, I mean, there are other ways to get it, but I have to check to see if I have any chance of getting it. Otherwise, as we look at this here, and this is likely a runaway Suzuka, who's going to run away, Gold Ship is definitely going to get debuffed here. That's why my Mayano exists as a kind of anchor in case there is a runaway Suzuka, in case Mayano can go forward. When Mayano goes forward, and especially when she pops her unique, there's a very high there is a high chance of her winning, but that's only if she stays up forward as a pace chaser. As opposed to Summer Maru, who's just going to get blocked by this, or is not going to use anything. Now, I could have tried to be counter meta, or not counter meta, but off meta, and use No Stopping Me on my Summer Maru, because I did expect to see quite a few runaway Suzukas, and I did see quite a few runaway Suzukas, but usually in such a situation, you're not going to be, from what I've seen, you're not going to be doing well, basically. So, hopefully at this point, my Mayano can proc No Stopping Me off of our Summer Maru, who's slowly dropping. Otherwise, we get a Gold Chip can somehow get something. We get a No Stopping Me proc, and we get head on. So here's hoping that Mayano takes this somehow, because that will more than make up for the missing power that Mayano is missing. But whether or not she actually makes it to the end, though, well, it's going to be a lot of distance to make up. So let's find out what happens. No. The answer is no. A little bit of a block there too, but no, that was not. That was it looked close, but I promise you, that was not as close as you might. One who thinks that might assume. Although 1 1/4 of a length is quite close, but it's not enough. So, did I say I think in the last video I said I was going to have a 45% win rate. That does not seem likely now. It seems more like it's going to be a 35% win rate if I continue on a losing trend. But again, bare minimum is reaching a finals, but preferably second place at minimum. Now, obviously, first place is what you're going for. I'm not entering Champions Meeting hoping to lose, but let's not lie and not saying that I'm hoping that RNG turns out well as well. So, yeah, looks proper. High wit can actually make up for quite a bit of power, especially on the... So, in the middle of this race, there is a downhill that happens as a lot of Uma Musume, I think, are trying to speed up. So that's quite an important... Wits is an important stat here to meet. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I was kind of flabbergasted because I didn't see a groundwork. Not that it... Well, it matters a lot, but it's not the end-all, be-all of a front-runner compared to other front-runners, in this case, my Summer Maru, having the groundwork set up as well. but we do get the groundwork proc. So at least for starting here, as especially since we're on the inner, we are going to take first for the moment. Now, as we reach the mid leg and late mid leg of the race, well, we'll see. Because again, around, I think up here is where in the so I'm showing on screen basically around the middle of the race is a big uphill into a downhill. So that's where you'll see a lot of 600, 800 wits proc the acceleration downward on the hill, and that's really, really, really nice. But again, it's not the end-all be-all, but I have seen a lot of speed-ups happen around this place. So basically watch where around the 1,200 to 1,000 meter segment and just see who speeds up, and that it's likely that's a Wits proc there. I think it's 1,200 to 1,000 meters. I need to look at the race again. I'm not going to pretend like I know the exact race front to back. But yeah, you'll see around here is when the speed-ups will happen. Now it's kind of covered up by the fact that some Amaros will proc here, but yeah, aside from that, getting the wits here, especially if you don't have like a mid race skill here, you'll see a lot of speed ups here. But we didn't really see a lot this time. Is it here? No. So this Saiyan Sky is gonna take angling and scheming, by the way, which is very, very bad for us. But unless something miraculous happens, no. And all I can really hope for is Mayano, but Mayano's too far back as well. So here's hoping that things happen. Gold Ship's definitely not making it. Summer Maru, who's fallen too far back. And so, unless we get a big Mayano last burst of speed here at around the 400 meter mark, no, we're not going to win this one. It's likely going to Saiyan Sky for her to put something down. Taiki Shuttle's way too... everyone else is way too far behind. So, literally, the only thing we can hope for is that the last 150 meters here, Saiyan Sky runs out of stamina. But that's not the case. So, hey. In fact, even Taiki Shuttle took second. I mean, that's to be expected. But, yeah, we were nowhere close. So, without further ado... gonna do the rest of my entries later on, and yeah, I did run into a lot of one-win entries during my second day, and that's going to make things interesting trying to get into A finals. Now, is it likely? Well, you placed your bets at your own home behind the screen, sitting down hopefully, and we'll see what happens. But otherwise, not really much else to say here. If you have anything to say here, you know what to do. If you don't, then, well, so be it. Otherwise, I'll be around, definitely getting to the finals, so we'll have at least one more video. But otherwise, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye!